David Avanesyan, the holder, Josh Kelly, the challenger, and to introduce our main eventers into the ring, it's Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to London, England. We're live on Sky Sports and DAZN for the featured bout of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the European Welterweight Championship. Now, entering the arena, please welcome the undefeated challenger, PBK, Josh Pretty Boy Kelly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, entering the arena, please welcome the reigning and defending European welterweight champion, fighting out of Petigorsk, Russia, David Avanesyan. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the SSE Arena Wembley here in London, England. We are live on Sky Sports and DAZN for the featured bout of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the European Welterweight Championship. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. Sponsored by Betfred, Wow Hydrate, and JD Sports. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the British Boxing Board of Control, the board representative, Mr. Dennis Gilmartin, and the European Boxing Union, the president, Mr. Bob Logis, the supervisor, Mr. Robert W. Smith. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest, all from the United Kingdom. From Barry, John Latham. From Gillingham, Ian John Lewis. And from Liverpool, Mark Lyson. Your timekeeper from Harrow Weald is John Smith. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring from Barhead, Scotland, A-star referee, Mr. Victor Laughlin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the 4 corners of the world to the 4 corners of this ring right here in London, England. This is it. The time has come. The fight starts now! Introducing first the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, standing with his head trainer, Adam Booth. He wears the red trunks with the white trim. This 2016 Olympian scaled at already 10 stone, 6 pounds, bang on. His professional record, 10 victories, no losses, 1 draw, and 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated former Commonwealth and WBA International Champion, fighting out of Sunderland, England, PBK, Josh Pretty Boy and his opponent across the ring, the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner. He stands with his head trainer, Carl Greaves. He wears the black trunks with the white and red trim. He scaled 10 stone, 6 pounds, 6 ounces. His professional record, 26 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw. He has 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Newark, England, by way of Pennygorsk, Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the reigning and defending European welterweight champion and the former WBA welterweight champion of the world, David Avanesyan.
Well, it's been a long time coming. Both fighters had the will. Their teams found a way. 12 rounds for the EBU European welterweight title. Avanesyan versus Kelly. To talk you through it at the commentary desk, Tasha Jonas and Nick Horlin.
Thanks, Chris. The one we thought we may never see happen. Finally, it's here. It's arrived. Is it a coming-of-age night for Josh Kelly? Is it a turning back? The youngster time for David Avanesyan, the defending champion from Russia, although he's based in the UK and has been for the last few years, is the man in the black trunks, Kelly, in the red and white of his native town, Sunderland. All the experts say the one thing that Josh Kelly cannot do is just coast through this one, that he needs to maintain a work rate. Can't switch off. Can't stand back and admire his work. It's an interesting one. This fight, you look at it, you can make a compelling case for David Avanesyan, then you can flip it on its head, make a compelling case for Josh Kelly, and both arguments would carry a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's in the big fights like these that records and form and all that stuff kind of just goes out the window. And you know, the fighters are here and they want to make a statement, both fighters.
It's a fight that may well go the distance as well. Just the one stoppage loss for David Avanesyan. As you heard Chris say, that came against Egidius Kavaliauskas, who can knock a small building over.
What's interesting here, Nick, in the early goings is Kelly, is not giving up ground too easily, which was always going to be key. But he just got into that kind of Philly shell stance, and that's because Avanesyan likes to set up those straight shots down the middle with a wide left hook. And with that Philly shell stance, the right glove can just catch those left hooks on the turn. And already Kelly's thinking in those first and third phases, slipping, making Avanesyan miss and countering him. Really, really sharp start from the Sunderland man. This is good stuff so far.
Reddening up already, Kelly. I don't know if that's a cut or whether that's just you know, whether a glove has just scuffed him there, but there's definitely some kind of marking coming up.
Yeah, he does mark quite easily, Josh. I think you've seen this in the amateurs over the years as well. Tash just gets quite red quite quickly. There's nothing too much to be concerned about.
This is sharp. This is really sharp from Kelly. Picked some beautiful punches to the body, then switched upstairs quickly. Well, he's asking some questions of the champion here right in this first round. And that's the kind of movement that he's going to need to keep Avanesyan at bay. Slow start this with the Russian, but a very sharp and fast start from the challenger. Probably rolling there to keep himself out of trouble. Well, Josh Kelly is looked after by the highly intelligent, very, very experienced Adam Booth. I think Adam Booth will be very, very happy with the way this first round has gone. Caught him with a lovely little left hand there right on the belt.
Yeah, he will be very happy, Nick, and I'll tell you why. Against Ray Robinson, and in his last 2 or 3 fights, in fact, when he doesn't want you to hit him, you can't catch Josh Kelly. When he's thinking defensively, it's that old expression, it would be hard to hit him with a bag of rice. What he's doing now, and he's already started to do in this first round, is slip and make Avanesyan pay. And that's what he didn't do against Robinson, and he didn't do against Winston Campos. He's already started to do that, which shows he's got confidence, he's shown they've drilled the right things. It's not just about making Avanesyan miss, it's about catching him in return, and he's done that already.
And also, when you're getting countered with everything that you throw, you become more reluctant to throw it. Because if you throw a shot and you're getting countered every time, then you're going to switch to a different shot and move to a different tactic. And that's what he's making him do. He's being very reluctant to throw any shot.
And that is not David Avanesyan's game at all. And let's see if Carl Greaves and his team can just fine-tune Avanesyan a little bit here. The second round, the first not good for him at all. Oh, again, it's the speed. Lovely left hook combination downstairs then upstairs. And Avanesyan seeing these jabs, but they're keeping him occupied. As you said earlier, Chris, I think it was you that said it, Chris, he's rehydrated. I mean, he looks huge in there, Kelly.
Yeah, he does, and they always say mistakes in the amateurs can repeat themselves in the pros, and it's no secret that he did have some problems with his weight. He did balloon up at points, and you know, we've talked about that, and he has to work hard on his weight. It's not something that comes easily or naturally to him, and clearly, you know, the first fight, one of the reasons for him getting him, I think, was because he was absolutely drained at the weight, and I think there's a correlation between the two. He didn't get it right, and I think he's made the adjustments and clearly has got things right this time around. He looks much stronger, he looked fresher at the weigh-in yesterday, and as you say, rehydrated, looking at a completely different specimen to what we saw even a year ago.
You've talked about this all night, Tash, man strength. I mean, he really looks like he's got it, doesn't he, Kelly, here?
Yeah, his muscles
Oh, a big left hook. Caught Avanesyan, he was wide open there and stunned, and Kelly is looking for the early night here.
Make him come into it, counter him.
Well, even if Avanesyan has managed to recover from that, there's a warning sign for the champion. He can be stung and he can be hurt, and Josh Kelly knows it.
Step into it.
Well, the first round wasn't good for him. The second round's getting even worse for David Avanesyan.
There's blood coming from somewhere. I don't know if
That's
it's
a cut
Kelly's
on the
head.
back of the head by the look of it, Tash, I think. I don't know how that's happened. He's too bothered about it. Yeah, it is. It's on the it's in the scalp now. Avanesyan knows he needs to get a reaction to being caught like that.
Might not bother him. He's losing a lot of blood from that cut.
Pouring, isn't it? Well, it always does pour on the top of the head. Absolute spearing jabs. He's raking those jabs through here, Josh Kelly. And I tell you, Avanesyan really needs to settle down, because if he starts to press this, he's going to make mistakes and leave himself open. There's a lot of blood, most of it round the back and the side, but all over the place at the moment here from Kelly. Yeah, it's so good. Look at the separation after he unloaded, and that jab, that's turning into a weapon as well.
Well, the unusual position in the corner for Josh Kelly, where Ian Johnson, of course, the cutman's role. Normally, if there's a bad cut, they are the one that takes centre stage, because only one person can be in the ring at any one time. But of course, Ian Johnson's got the rare luxury of being able to work on the cut from outside the ropes. I think it was the elbow there that contacted the back of the head, and they're just going to want to stem the flow, just because, of course, if he's losing a lot of blood, that's never a good thing in the middle of a fight when your blood pressure's high anyway. So he'll work on that. But look, that aside, he's made a very, very good start, Josh Kelly.
Really has. By the way,
For this round, right?
Ian Johnson's going to be very cross with you. He's Jumbo. Nobody calls him in. He doesn't like that.
He is Jumbo. I apologise for that. Yeah, of course he is.
I'm shooting.
He's a good cut man, Jumbo Johnson.
He's a good chap as well.
Yeah, he is. Cut men are always good guys. Have you noticed that? Some of the nicest guys you'll meet. Round 3.
Yeah, he's had a few to work on as well. He had that Huey Fury against Pulev where his eyelid was all but hanging off. So he's seen a lot worse, and you can have far, far worse people in your corner to deal with a bit of a cut like that than Jumbo.
And the thing for Josh, it's not on the front, it's not in his line of sight. There's no bit of eye hanging down that you can see that's putting you off. So all them things are positive. When it's at the back and you can't see, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing.
Well, it's not bothering him in the least. Avanesyan, we're only in the early stage of the third round. He's almost just a little sense that he's getting a bit desperate here. But he's been completely outboxed through the first 2 rounds. Trying to up the tempo here, but I tell you, this jab of Kelly's is some weapon. That was nice. Kelly did take a left hand there. Avanesyan with a rare moment of success early in this third round. And Kelly again creating that separation. But he is taking some risks trying to get in here, Avanesyan.
One thing that I don't think many people really know or wish to acknowledge about Josh Kelly, there's a lot of dog in him. You know, over the years, because of how he looks, he's kind of a commercial dream, and because of the way he boxes, you kind of think he's one of these people that be a bit risk averse, a bit shy of a trade-off. But actually, he's quite the opposite. He's got a real spirit, he's got a real dog, and he's got that fight that you need as a boxer. If things get tough tonight, he won't just suddenly be a fish out of water in there. And of course, that is Avanesyan's game plan, and they don't necessarily know that Kelly's got spirit and resolve, and he doesn't need to really have to find out because of the skill set that he's got. But already looks a bit of adversity. There's a huge amount of blood coming out of that cut, and at some level, at this length of a fight, it could start to affect him. But he's used to that. He's been in the trenches in the amateurs, gone through some really hard Olympic qualifying rounds, gone out to Rio, faced some tough opposition, and he's not the guy that things start to get tough in the trenches, he's just going to fold.
Make him obvious.
Hello.
Make him miss. Clean.
Avanesyan trying to force the issue here. Close it down, get off first like he did there with that right hand. Last few seconds of the third round. That's a nice body shot. He doubled it up as well. It's the first round in the fight, guys, that Avanesyan looks like he's started to settle. Not saying he won the round, but there was a little bit more of the David Avanesyan that we've seen in the past in that last round.
I think we always knew that, you know, Josh's speed and his head movement and his body movement would cause him trouble, but he was starting to get the timing a little bit better there. He was starting to come in and get into a little bit of a comfort zone and a little bit of a rhythm, which we hadn't seen in the first 2 rounds.
Keep it nice and tight, straight back to your face. With the right hand, yeah? Good boy. Listen, keep working hard. Look, you're busting your nuts. Gradually, you're getting tired, mate. The longer it goes, you'll drain. You're hitting your best, mate, and you're still here. No problem. Keep working on.
And that's the fight, of course, Nick, that everybody's talking about down the line is potentially Josh Kelly and Conor Benn. I think overlooking just a small matter of David Avanesyan tonight. But of course, if he does come through this, that is the fight that the public want to see. That's where the demand is.
It's like everybody wants Conor Benn.
I mean, I don't.
Virgil Ortiz wants Kelly. I mean, everyone's talking about what they want, and as you say, David Avanesyan's got his own plans. It was Carl Greaves we could hear talking in the corner, a very experienced and knowledgeable British trainer. And you heard him just say that you'll wear him down in the later rounds, and that obviously is going to be the game plan. Try and draw him into a bit of a battle and see if you can make a breakthrough in the latter rounds. Don't be discouraged early. As you say, all that head movement, the reflexes early on from Kelly have been so impressive. I wonder if Avanesyan can build on that slight encouragement that he got in the previous round, but Kelly looking sharp again here and just letting it flow. Adam Booth leading the applause in the Kelly corner. Boy, he brings that jab up from so low, but it's so accurate and so sharp.
This is Josh Kelly starting to get into his rhythm now, and that's what he is, a rhythm fighter. If you let him get into that, or you start to let him lead the dance and chase, that's when you can be in real trouble. And Avanesyan needs to be really careful here. Just let Kelly just get into his rhythm, have the space. You can see that confidence growing. You can see that the little step in his, the spring in his step rather. And this is where he wants to be. This is him dictating the fight on his terms.
Let's call him again there. Now Avanesyan trying to force the issue. Kelly just saying, yeah, there you go. You can get the body, but you can't hurt me. And there he is, gone again. Lovely footwork. Yeah, just drawing him in, saying, there you go. Have some of that. Look at that, looking down, use of the eyes there to try and fool Avanesyan into where the next attack is coming from. It's a real Adam Booth trademark, that bringing that jab up from the hip area. And again, though, another look at the referee. That's the second time he's done that in this round, Kelly. A little glance over at Victor Loughlin as Avanesyan looks to try and rough his man up here.
Looks like Kelly's eye as well has just swelled up. Yeah, we don't know if he's complaining about something that's hit him in the eye.
I think there's a clash, and I think that, well, it's very hard to tell, but I think there may be a cut over the right eye, but of course, the amount of blood that's coming from that cut at the back of his head, we're only really going to know when we get in between rounds, but it does seem to be a stream of blood pouring from his right eye. I think it may have been a clash of heads, and that's what he was trying to indicate to the referee.
Yeah, they're saying in the Avanesyan corner that you are busting him up. Well, he's certainly got the marks of battle, Josh Kelly, and Avanesyan is full throttle now, and yeah, definitely cut to the right eye. And Avanesyan almost struts back to his corner there.
If you're Avanesyan, you want to take Josh Kelly's confidence away. You don't want a confident Josh Kelly doing what he wants, picking you up, hitting you with single shots and rolling.
He does his work.
Now you see the cut man centre stage.
So just keep winning the points. Do you understand? Keep winning the points, because if it gets stopped because of the cut, it goes to the scorecard.
He's got back.
Huh?
Is it back?
It's open. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just win the round. Nice deep breath. Give him a drink, Char. Yeah. Nice deep breath, Josh.
This clash confirmed, and Adam Booth just spelling out the circumstances for Josh Kelly. So we can see how this happened. Oh, no wonder he looked at the referee.
There's a bit of concern as well in Adam Booth's voice when he was saying that win the round and, you know, just win the round and then it'll go to the scorecard. It could possibly be a bad cut.
Yeah, I think just reiterating, wasn't he, in the corner what was actually important there. It doesn't matter if it's a bad cut or not because we can't change that now. What is important is that you win the rounds ahead, so that if it does go to the scorecard, you are ahead. I think he is clear ahead at this particular stage, but look, we just don't know how that cut is going to progress, and we'll have to wait and see.
Avanesyan now goes to the body. A bit more success with the body. Landing clean upstairs is proving pretty tough for Avanesyan here. Well, that was smart of Adam Booth, though. I mean, in the heat of battle, sometimes guys, they lose their focus, and Adam Booth just said, here is the situation, so don't worry about that cut. Just go and keep winning rounds. But Avanesyan really is building up a head of steam here, and this fight is starting to unfold as we thought it might. I think a lot of people looked at this and said Kelly wins the early rounds, but if Avanesyan is still there, he can come on strong late.
Kelly's just leaning on him, and he doesn't really need to be there. He needs to get back to doing what he was doing before and hitting and moving and, you know, taking his confidence away by making him miss and making him pay. And now he's trying to stand there and lean on him and trade with him, which is not a big strength of his.
Well, if he can out-muscle David Avanesyan up close, that'll be a big step for him, but that's easier said than done. But he really is trying to be the tough guy in there at the moment, and as you say, Tash, I don't think David Avanesyan would have expected that, and I'm not sure how much success he had doing it either. This is where he can be damaging. Keep that separation. Like that.
Yeah, same thing with Jordan Gill earlier, though. You know, you have to show a little bit of everything against these come-forward fighters. You can't just give them momentum, and step off and step off and step off. You have to, at times, get in the pocket with them. You have to stick it to them. You have to push them back, and you have to show them that you can mix it as well. It was one of the criticisms leveled against Josh Kelly. He doesn't stand and trading up and show us a little bit, and he's showing it now, and he's digging in. And there can be no question that he's showing a different side to his game in these first 5 rounds than we've seen in his previous few fights already.
Yeah, absolutely. He really is opening up here.
Yeah, he's getting caught a little bit more in this round, Josh. He's still hitting and moving, but he's getting caught with shots as he's staying there just that split second too long.
And we're not even at halfway. Avanesyan may be behind, but I think he'll be feeling the game plan is starting to work. The game plan is clearly break Kelly up.
You gave that round away the first half of it, do you understand? When you started walking him down and pushing him.
Get your head back from me.
Nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. You listening? Yeah. You listening to me? You can be calm and strong. Close up, make him lead and back him up. Okay? Let your hands go sharp and then go small again. Do you understand? Yeah. Clean defence, back him up, sharp hands, go small.
Well, this is where we saw him trying to just get up close. It could have been because he was roughed up a little bit. Just needed to change the dimensions again. But talking of dimensions, you heard what Adam Booth said there. After you've unloaded, make yourself small.
Bunker, making the bunker. Switch it, don't leave.
Round 6 of this battle for the European welterweight title. Claimed by David Avanesyan in Spain, in Bilbao, against Kerman Lejaraga. They wanted the rematch, they got it. And Lejaraga was blown out inside a round. He then went back to Spain, stopped Jose Del Rio in Barcelona. And neither of these two fellas have had a fight since December 2019. A gap of over 400 days for both of them.
Yeah, For Avanesyan, rather, it's almost 2 years since he was stopped by Kabliauskas. In that time, he's boxed less than 11 full rounds in 2 years. Now, of course, he's been victorious in those. Leheraga took him 9 rounds the first time, won the second, and of course Rio was one as well. So he's been victorious in that, and through no fault of his own. But no, he hasn't really shown any signs of that inactivity. He was a little slow to start, but he's now fully in the groove here. And that was my only real concern from going into this, was just the lack of ring rounds that he's done in the last couple of years. But he's a seasoned professional, and no signs of rust from him at this stage, certainly.
No, absolutely not. No, it really has warmed up now. Blood continuing to pour from all over the place from Josh Kelly, most of it from that cut around the back of the head. But Avanesyan really is starting to build up a head of steam in this fight. Big jolting left hand from the Russian. And he's catching Kelly cleaner and more regularly now. These were the shots that Kelly was making him miss with earlier. A lovely combination, and he's followed it up, and Kelly's in trouble. Pushed down, and there is a count. Well, the pressure's been coming, it's been building, and Kelly still has a minute to go here in this 6th round, and Avanesyan will be straight back on him. Landing clean again. Well, Kelly's really got to be careful here. The legs are all over the place. Absolutely gone, and Adam Booth's thrown in the towel, and it's all over. Josh Kelly unravelled, and David Avanesyan has overcome a slow start to retain his European welterweight championship in some style. That was a ruthless finish.
Caught Josh, I think, with a shot just around the temple ear kind of thing. Once you get, we've seen Pricey, myself, you know, Joshua, when you get caught with them type of shots, we talked about shots earlier, and you know, you just can't get your balance. Your brain is there, you're telling your body to do stuff, and it just won't react, and just won't do it.
There has been some bad blood in this build-up, guys. You know, that's no secret. It's all been kind of quashed this week, and there was a level of respect between the fighters and between the teams. And I think it was more really the teams than the fighters themselves that kind of had a little bit of needle, as we say here. But you know, speaking to Neil Marsh earlier on today, he said, I have no doubts that Avanesyan will stop Kelly. He said, we may be behind going into the second half of the fight. He said, I expect us even to be maybe 5 rounds down after the first 6. He said, but I can tell you that in between 6 and 12, he will get that stoppage, and I'm completely confident. And you know, you look into somebody's eyes and you know they believe the words that they're saying. He sees his man, and well, he turned out to be right.
Let's give credit where it's due. You know, we're so quick to jump on referees, we're so quick to jump on calling people when they don't throw in the towel. Adam Booth seen that his man was in trouble, and he's made the right decision and pulled him out.
Well, if there was any doubt at all, he's getting oxygen on that stool right now. So yeah, no question at all.
Stay where you are for a
We've seen the towel thrown in the last 2 fights, and you couldn't fault either of them. That earlier stoppage when he and John Lewis made that stoppage, the big heavyweight Matt Gordon, that was another good stoppage as well. And this one, as you say, Tash, Kelly was absolutely sold out.
Very difficult for Josh Kelly to know what he does next and where he goes. You know, this was a make or break night for him, and as much potential as he has, and as good as he was in those first couple of rounds, things just on fight night, as great as he's been in the gym and as much talent as we know he has, just haven't really come together on fight night. And I know from speaking to a lot of his campmates over the last year, he couldn't have put more into this camp. He couldn't have prepared any more thoroughly. He's been meticulous to a point where Shannon Courtney described him to me yesterday on the phone as almost unapproachable at times. His focus has been that tunnel visioned, and so to see a man in his state there, given everything he's put into this, how long he's waited for that opportunity, this is, Tash, going to be very difficult to bounce back from for Josh Kelly.
I mean, we have this thing in boxing about this carrying this O, and you have the pressure of the O. And you know, very few boxers actually leave the game, especially the professional game, with that O, but we seem to cherish it and want to keep hold of it, and you know, once it goes, it's like it seems the end of the world. You can't pick yourself back up from this. You know, there's plenty of you know, history shows that you can. But what I will say is that, you know, he was the top runner at this weight division in our country, and now the momentum seems to be swinging with Conor Benn.
Well, this is how it all unravelled. Absolutely sharp and fast, and that was that combination that sent him to the floor, and he was in serious distress then. And this is one of the worst fighters in the world to be in trouble against, because Avanesyan will not let you off the hook. Absolutely clinical finish. And he still wasn't right, was he? And Adam Booth watching, saying, you know what, I've got to make a decision here. And the legs had completely gone, and that was it.
There was 2 hooks, lead hooks. There was an uppercut, and there was lead hook after that. And just the place, the way it lands, it doesn't land like a clean shot. It's a bit like for open hand fist around the back of the ear. And that's just, it just takes his legs from him.
Speaking to Darren Barker earlier on today, describing that feeling, he said you can actually feel not too bad in your head, but once your legs go, that's it. And of course you are then moments away, one punch perhaps from being completely lights out. And so Adam Booth absolutely did the right thing. All the officiating's been good tonight, the judging when it's been required. So no complaints from that point of view, and that's one positive to take from this evening, certainly.
And David Avanesyan showing that being a former world champion is not a career ender, not at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Victor Laughlin accepts the retirement of the blue corner. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round number 6. Your winner, and still the European welterweight champion, David Avanesyan.
4 stoppages in a row for David Avanesyan, who clearly wants another shot at a world title. This was supposed to be the coming out party for Josh Kelly. You can put that champagne on hold. He is young enough to come again. He can learn from this, and he can rebuild. But this must feel so tough for him.
You could see, you could feel the hurt as he stood there and listened to that decision. He was absolutely gutted, and it's heartbreaking to see. Like, obviously in boxing someone's got to win, that's just the be all and end all, but you can see that he's getting consoled now in the corner. It's devastating.
And Charlie beat at the back of the shot, sorry, and he cares about Josh enormously, as he does all the fighters, and Adam Booth too. They work so hard as a unit, and you know, you take that loss as a fighter, as an individual, but as you know too, Tash, with Joe, those kind of coaches and stable mates, they take that loss as a team as well.
You know, we have this concept at Gallagher's, you know, you win together, you lose together, and that's the way it is, you know. It's just so sad. And you know, I think, you know, remnants of maybe last week with Warrington, and Adam Booth was there commentating himself. You know, he's seen, you know, the after effects of when you leave it too late or when you let it go on a bit longer than it should. So he's made the right decision, and I hope he knows that.
Yeah, well, we'll look at how it all finished, and as bad as it is for Josh Kelly, what a performance from David Avanesyan, who was behind, who was stung early as well. The guy who lost his world title to Lamont Peterson, who got stopped by Kavaliauskas, but is rebuilding spectacularly, and he'll be asking for another crack at a world title, whether it's Spence or Crawford. Good luck with those. Your Dennis Ugas, the Cuban. But he'll certainly be saying to Eddie Hearn, get me another shot. And again, you know, you talk about how devastated Josh Kelly is, and we don't want to talk about Kelly all night, but both these fighters, both these camps came in 100% convinced they were going to win. This was going to be their night. So the elation is going to be particularly high for this man, and it's going to be correspondingly shattering in the other camp.
David, just on that microphone there, I know, we'll try this in English.
My translation.
Yeah, of course. If you don't understand, I'll try and simplify the question. You've had to wait a long time for this opportunity.
Yeah.
You've won. Tell us how you feel.
I feel very, very good. Listen, I wait a long time this fight. I give hard work many times. I go for my coach, my manager for different country. 1 week no see his children, say I very miss you. Listen, 2 months I see my children, 10 days, long time. I'm anytime fly England training, no see my family, my parents, my children, my friends, understand? Thank you for my team, thank you for English. English give me opportunity. Thank you for Mushroom team. #1 best show where me have, understand? I have many big fights showing Shane Mosley, America, Peterson. Mushroom, this is #1, man. I never see. I'm very happy. Thank you for my God, I'm win today. Thank you my English team. Help me, is my manager, understand? My coach. My coach is anytime give me time. I know what is your, he won't give time for family, understand? He give me every time big, pick me up for training, and maybe I tell you, maybe one need go my see friends. He understand my driver, my friends base is my coach. Thank you for Russian coach. I have 2 coach for Russia. Today my old coach, 75 old, is birthday. Is happy birthday, my coach. Is my mom. My mom is very support for me. I speak Russian, мам, все хорошо, все нормально. Всех люблю, друзья, все смотрели. Родители, пап, бабушка is my grandmother, #1. Is my children. Today, good day. Today, my night is big fight. I won't say for Josh, Josh family. Yes, listen, I know like many speak, understand for boxing. I know boxing like speak many too, but for show, big show, I know like speak is bad. I know it's hard work. I know it's he went hard work. Understand? I know he about family, his children. Me understand everything. Yeah, this is business. I go for give my business is for everything, but for my family, for me. Thank you, please help. And thank you for many people. It's me starting boxing. Many people help me, understand? It's me before young amateur. It's no money. I don't need what go work and go so business boxing. It's many people give me help. This is not my win, understand? This is when every people help me. For young, before now, and my team, my friends. Listen, it's Eric Timurov. I go England, I know see nothing, only coach is he every time help me.
Can I ask you one question
I speak every people understand this. Thank you.
Of course.
No, adrenaline. Today, listen.
I just wanted to ask you one question on the fight. Did it go?
Sorry,
No, it's okay. Look, this is your platform. Did the fight go the way that you thought it would, which was Josh Kelly starting very fast and then you coming back into the fight? Is that what you thought would happen?
I know I wait is hard work. I know Josh is fast. I see. Coach say, I see Josh, many people say fast. Yeah, no, David fast, understand? David fast. Josh, no fast many for David. Many people say, before 3 years ago, what do you think? Now, I say, listen, people think time go, David better, understand? I show you David better. It's after lost fight, yeah, boxing difficult, it's you lost, many people think you finish. My manager after Peterson fight, so David, you think finish? I say, why? This is boxing, you down, this life. It's you need, well, it's your champion, you wake up, understand, and you go. I wake up, I go. I don't know what is tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, no. I live now, it's this time, understand?
David.
My English good?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It deserves a round of applause. Congratulations, you're still champion. I just want to have a quick word with Carl Greaves and then we'll bring in Eddie Hearn. Carl, I mean, you spent all week telling us exactly what would happen and it went that way. Just tell us how happy you are with David's performance and really your thoughts on the fight.
Told everybody, didn't everyone was thinking I was crazy, some crazy coach that knows nothing. That's what he called me, crazy coach. But no, I knew exactly how it was going to go. I've spent over 5 years with David now. I've seen so much. I've seen all these talented kids. They can keep him off a certain length of time, 30 seconds a minute, but he finds a way every time. I was so confident in this fight, honestly, so confident. I knew it was going to go like that. I'm a bit good because I had 500 quid on round 7, like, but you know what I mean? I was so confident.
Maybe his English isn't that good, he didn't listen.
Yeah, but no, I said I knew how it would go. I knew how it would go.
Brilliant.
Over the moon.
Celebrate as a team. I know, David, you want to say one more thing. Carl, if I could ask you to step out and Eddie Hearn to step in just for COVID restrictions. We've only got 2 microphones. David, final word to you.
Listen, I won't say one time. Last year is my country, Armenia. This is my win. Is my last day. My Armenia, my country. I'm really Russia. Is my nationality for Armenia. Is have bad voice. Many young people kill. Understand? Check this voice. I give this win is for every family, for every hero. These heroes, for friends, for Artsakh. And Artsakh, как сказать, был и будет. It's gonna be Artsakh, yes. Every people for give this my win is bad time. Thank you for everyone. Спасибо всем, кто за меня болел, ребят. Спасибо большое. Россия, Армения. Всех люблю, уважаю.
Thank you, David. Thanks to all of Team Avanesyan. Eddie Hearn, I mean, it's elation for the winner, as it would be, and David is the rightful winner, but it is tough on the loser as well. Josh Kelly, obviously, just didn't go his way tonight. Your thoughts on Josh?
It's always tough on the loser, isn't it? And this is the greatest sport in the world. Sometimes you come across a guy that will not be denied, that's too strong, that has the will beyond others. And tonight that was David Avanesyan. And you know, I've never seen, I said in the build-up, I've never seen two camps so confident. You know, Carl, Neil, they were so sure they were going to win. Adam, so sure. And you know, you have to say one thing. Josh Kelly had a wonderful camp. Josh Kelly was in the shape of his life. Josh Kelly couldn't have been better in that ring tonight. But this man, he wouldn't be denied. You know, he was too tough. He comes from some serious stuff, you know, and he deserves his success because it hasn't always been easy. But what we saw tonight was an elite welterweight, a world-class welterweight, against a really good prospect who I believe can be a world-class fighter. But he was just outmanned. He was just out-hustled. He was just out-fought. And as good as the start was, you could see him unravelling. You could see David taking his time, you know, coming in. He chose to trade. Every time Josh would let his hands go, he chose to let his hands go. And you could see a confidence from them that it would come. And I thought Adam Booth did a great job throwing in the towel because it was the end. You know, and sometimes it's good to save your fighter from taking unnecessary punishment. But, you know, this guy, that was a massive win for him, massive win. And I saw Josh Kelly this week in the bubble and I thought, this kid looks ready. But they told me that he was too strong. And he showed it tonight. He big deserved winner, and I believe he should get a world title shot. You know, he's fought for the WBA and owned the WBA regular world championship before. When you look at that division, why not see him up there fighting the likes of Sean Porter, fighting the likes, I mean, Terence Crawford looks for an opponent all the time. You know, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, all these guys. I believe he's mixed at that level before, and he's just shown the levels of David Avanesyan. So congratulations to him. It's just the most incredible show, you know, and it's hard in here. As Carl Greaves said, you can hear a pin drop. This is not normal. You know, these guys are walking down that ramp with no one in an empty building and going to war in front of the world. This sport is never normal when there's 80,000 at Wembley, but in here, these people aren't human. They're incredibly brave, and we should give them the utmost respect. And bravery, strength and ability won him that fight, but just something in there that wouldn't be denied. He wouldn't be denied tonight, and that's hard to beat.
And just quick one word, because we're running out of time, on the future of Josh Kelly. You just said, David, you'd like a world title, or David's team would like a world title for him. For Josh Kelly next?
Listen, he took the step up. I hope people give him the credit for taking the step up, because we know in boxing, too many fighters, too many teams, too many managers, too many advisors, too many lawyers, they don't want to take the step up. We're in a time now where you need to take the step up, and if you believe you can win, you should. Josh Kelly took the step up with Adam Booth. He should be applauded for that. He fought a world-class fighter. He's a young man. He can come again. But tonight deserves to David Avanesyan.
Yep, David, massive congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.